Background's good? Thank you very much for being here today. What is a very, very exciting day. Today we have just you, our new police commissioner. We have such an exciting and bright future together. Mal brings all of the strengths that we need in a new commissioner. His values, his work ethic, his skills, the police force he knows so intimately, and they respect him, they regard him significantly, and that is what will be so important for us to tackle the crime that we know that we have on our streets. We've got a long list of challenges. We've made no secret of that. And we've talked at length about retention and recruitment, organised crime, domestic violence, and the list goes on. But we have the same focus, and that is to keep the people of New South Wales safe. And this is the man that's going to do that. Lead the New South Wales Police Force, work side by side with the government, ensuring that we do just that. I'm very pleased that we've been able to come back to Balmain, where Mal started his career almost 40 years ago. What an extraordinary career he has had. He has now achieved every rank in the New South Wales Police Force. Only few have achieved that. What a wonderful achievement for you. And I'm so proud to be here in this moment. It's a moment in history. I'll never forget it. Over to you, Mal.
Thanks, Minister. Well, good morning, ladies and gents. Sorry, you're right to go?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gents. It's an absolute honour to be here this morning. Thank you all for being here. I'm incredibly proud, but I'm well and truly aware of the responsibility of being the New South Wales Commissioner of Police. There can be no greater honour for a police officer than to become the Commissioner of Police. I've said very openly and quite regularly that we are the best police force in the world. My challenge now is to continue to work with our leadership team, continue to work right across the organisation and government to make sure that we continue to go forward. I've been very clear since I was first told that I would be the Commissioner what my priorities would be. Very much looking at organised crime because of the fear and the concern that puts in the community. Domestic and family violence, one of the greatest scourges we have because we know that generationally it affects people coming through. Regional and youth crime because of the disproportionate impact that regional crime has on communities out there. And road safety is one of the key things I want to look at as well. We want to make sure that people go to work, go on holidays and come back safely. So there's some real focuses for the organisation. The Minister was correct. Recruitment and retention is one of our biggest challenges. The more police we can have on the street, the safer we can keep the community, which is obviously one of my great focuses. Last weekend we had an open day at the New South Wales Police Academy, and I was thrilled to see that we had thousands of people, potential applicants, come to the academy to actually understand the role of police, and I think that's really encouraging. Since the changes of paying recruits to be down at the academy, we've had a 70% increase in applications, which is just wonderful. But we have to be straight. There are big challenges to come. I'm committed to leading this organisation, making sure that we focus on what's important to the community, and that is keeping them safe. Happy to take questions. Thank you.
Commissioner, you acknowledged your mum. First of all, congratulations. You acknowledged
Thank
your
you.
mum in your speech. A bit of a family affair today. Your sister was here. Your daughter was hiding up the back. How significant has family been to you over your 40 years?
Oh, it's incredibly important. I think anyone that's been in the police force and had 38 and a half years know that you don't do it on your own. You have some very exciting days, you have some very challenging days. Obviously our lives in the police can be public, therefore our families go with it. I've had incredible support from my family and I'm very honoured they're here today. It's lovely to have so many of them here.
Do you have a message from your mum today? What did she say to you about how proud she was?
I thought Mum did really well. Normally she'd cry through one of those, so I was incredibly proud of her. I think she has probably been the most proud person since she knew that I was going to be the Commissioner. I think the fact that she came down here today was wonderful. She doesn't always get around easily. She took the time out to come down. That means the world to me. It feels wonderful. It actually feels like coming back home. The Glebe was my first police station. A police officer never forgets where they first started. 8th Division, which had Balmain as well, brings back so many happy memories. It's always been an area that I've loved. The police here have a very special place in my heart, obviously, because I started here. We're very fortunate as well. A number of the executive have worked at Balmain and 8 Division, so it's a very special place. You've seen today I've got a number of friends that are here, a number of colleagues from when I started in the police force, so it's a very special place.
The Premier has already said it's a tough job. The Governor General, Mike Better today, said it's the toughest job in the country. Do you feel like the Prime Minister?
Well, I think when the Premier said, I think his job might be a little bit harder, but I think, to be honest, this is the job that's really in the community's focus. So the police force is here to keep the community safe. There's no greater honour, but to be honest, there's no greater responsibility as well. The community want a police force that keep them safe. So absolutely, I feel honoured, I feel very responsible, and I'm very committed to actually making sure I serve the community.
Recruitment and retention, Commissioner, to some extent, you're the front of house for that in terms of encouraging people to come to the force. That's obviously not been happening in any sufficient numbers. How do we turn that around?
Yeah, I think globally there has been a real challenge with recruiting police. I think in Australia, one of the things that's been fantastic in New South Wales, we've become probably even more so much of a police family. So we're finding that we are recruiting a lot of children of police officers, really getting that word out. What we need to do now is make it that we are an employer of choice, so that people coming through school, those that have a trade, decide that this is the job for them. When I spoke this morning, and if I speak about the type of opportunities in the police force, you can have 30 careers in the police force. There's no need to go anywhere else. You can ride a horse, have a dog, do forensics, be in general duties. You can do so many things within this organisation, and I think that's wonderful. We're very much focused on making this an organisation that people want to join, and I think, to be honest, working closely with the media is an important part of that, because a lot of people, before they come to the police force, their first perspective of the organisation is the media. So I'm very keen to work closely with the media to make sure those people that are considering it as a career actually do come forward.
Your predecessor moved pretty quickly and got rid of one of her rivals, willing for the job. Are you expecting to wield the axe at all here in professionalise this force?
I think I've been very clear, and I said this morning, I think we've got an outstanding leadership team. I have never seen a team with more experience and capability. I've said that I want stability and I want to work very closely with the leadership team I have. So my focus is working with them.
The Minister described this as a new chapter or new direction for the force. I'm then interested, will you continue the tradition of commissioners buying gin or other alcohol as gifts for dignitaries and charities?
It's probably not appropriate to answer that this morning, but no, that is not the type of gift. I think it's appropriate that as an organisation we're able to recognise dignitaries when they are. I think the type of gifts that are presented have to be appropriate.
Many say to be a good police commissioner, you've got to be a good politician. You've got to know how to deal with police. Are you confident in that role?
I'm here to represent the police. My job is to make sure that I work very closely with our Minister, and one of the great things about our Minister is she's incredibly passionate about police, so I'll be looking to work very closely with her. I've been around for 38 and a half years. As you know, I've had a career that's been through crime. Most recently, I've done the Reconstruction Authority, so I have worked closely with government before. I'm very committed to working with government, because obviously things like legislation and changes don't happen without government. My job is to represent our police.
Last week you were announced as a new commissioner. That would have, for many people, been one of the happiest days of your life, but it was understandable. Is today a better day for you?
It's still overwhelming, to be honest with you. I think when we spoke before, it is the greatest honour, but it is a big responsibility. It's going to be nice to actually be able to get through the day. This is a fantastic event. It's lovely to have family, friends and people that I've been around for a long time. I'm very much looking forward to getting my feet under the desk and start working.
Today, a woman was awarded $93,000 after a judge found the officer did not have reasonable grounds to strip search her at his custody. What's your response to that? You were in senior leadership in 2018. Did you advocate for strip searches at his custody at the time?
So strip searching is still a valid tool in the police arsenal, and the reason we do it, and a lot of focus is on drugs and people possessing drugs, but can I say one of the main reasons we strip search is for weapons. So if people have a firearm, people have a knife, it's really important that police have that. Since 2018, the police have changed policy and practice significantly in the way that we do it. We've changed education significantly. So we are focused in making sure that we do it appropriately, we do it with dignity, but we do it to make sure that we keep the community and the police safe. I apologise. What has been reported is outside our policy and practice. As I said, we've made significant strides forward in terms of policy, practice and education. I think that's one of the considerations, one of the focus, and everyone talks about sniffer dogs at music festivals. We have changed the way that we do it now. We are very much focused on those that are supplying prohibited drugs. We have seen the terrible toll that drugs take at music festival. We've seen young lives lost, and I think it's really important, as I said, that we do have sniffer dogs as a tool.
There's now the fourth drug checking trial at festivals. How will police support that drug checking trial?
We work very closely with health, and one of the key things about the way that we now operate, particularly with dogs, particularly the way we work, is to make sure that we don't take away from that drug checking.
38 years ago was obviously a very different perspective of police and the police force in general. How's that changed to now, and how do you hope to rebuild the public confidence in the New South Wales Police Force?
I honestly think the public think that the New South Wales Police Force is a fantastic organisation. I think our record in suppressing crime, our record in working closely, our record with working with diverse communities says that we're an organisation that can be trusted. I have said, but it's a very different media cycle that happens now. So 30 years ago, there may have been a newspaper, there may have been a television. Now, media and obviously activities crime is in the media all the time. So it's one of those ones, as I said, I'm very keen to work closely with media. We want to make sure the public are not only safe, but they feel safe.
Are you concerned about the illicit tobacco laws in Sydney, and will you make it a priority of the Town's Commission?
So illicit tobacco is primarily the responsible of the health department at the moment. The police are going to work very closely with them. We are always monitoring illicit tobacco to see whether there's an influence of organised crime in it. Our role very much is to make sure that we keep health safe, support health, but if we find that there is criminal activity in there, particularly with organised crime, the police will take a much more active role.
Commissioner, your predecessors criticised at times for being slow to react to big events that the public really wanted to know about. What's going to be your response moving forward if we do have, an instance like your grandmother being tasered?
I think probably through my career I've been very proactive in making sure that I reassure the public, and that is one of the key roles of the Commissioner of Police. My role will be very much that with an executive team that's so experienced, from time to time the executive will stand up if it's something within their portfolio. If it's a large incident, and certainly one that the Commissioner should stand up for, I will be there, I will be front and centre, and I'll be looking to reassure the public of what the police are doing.
Lanyon, about just today, said that you were the Lanyon of the police force first. You haven't seen it down there. Do you think you still hold that?
Probably if I showed you a photograph from 1987, you may have understood where some of that come from. It was a very bright hairstyle right at that time, very, very, very auburn, very bright. Look, I think I've always liked people, and I think where that came from. I really enjoy police officers. I love working with police officers, and I love the community. So if it means that I'm friendly to people, I think that's probably a reasonable. But I think some of that may have been the hair.
How has been said about trust today, but a lot of young people do not trust the police anymore because of things like the strip search issue. A lot of people in multicultural communities I've talked to also fail to trust the police. They see them as being a very aggressive force that's just there not to protect them, but to, enact acts of violence against them. I guess how will you try to build trust again with those communities?
Yeah, I think a lot of that is really a perception, and I think certainly in terms of multicultural communities, the police force, both at a local area command level but from a more corporate level, are very much focused on working closely with communities. My background, I've worked very closely with the Jewish community, with the Muslim community, with a range of communities. As I said, it's not about keeping the community safe, it's about keeping the community safe and making sure they feel safe. In terms of juveniles, we work very closely with juveniles, and we're very much focused where we can on prevention as opposed to enforcement. So diversionary programs, working closely to actually stop juveniles becoming in the criminal justice system is a really important priority for us.
How do you plan to build social cohesion?
Engagement. So I think there has been an excellent job. There is no one panacea to fixing that there, and I think a lot of what we're talking about with social cohesion is obviously a reflection of what's happening overseas. We know that there is conflict overseas. I would wish that that didn't come into New South Wales, but proactively we work very closely with the community to make sure that we make them feel safe, to make sure that where there could be some conflict, we are there to prevent it, and that's really our job.
Tobacco has been considered, as you said before, a health issue, but definitely has been on the laws apply these situations. Will you make it a priority to take that universal responsibility?
As I said, it's very much a joint responsibility, so health have the lead because it is a health responsibility. The police are committed and will work jointly with health because we do know that there can be a blurring of the lines. We're committed to keeping the community safe, and Obviously, sometimes when we do have a commodity that people can make money off, it will attract criminals. So that's why the police are working so closely with health. But we want to make sure tobacco is treated as a health issue in the first instance.
How key will mentoring be for you over the next 5 years? Of course, this course will assist with finding a replacement at the end of your term, particularly if some senior people now do decide to retire before you've finished in the role.
Yes, significant. I think it's a priority both for the Minister and I. We need to make sure that we bring the leaders of the future forward so this organisation is basically future-proof. It's a challenge because you need to give people, in fairness, opportunities right across the board, but we also need to identify those that we believe will be the leaders. I want to make sure that we have a very diverse leadership team. I want to make sure that we actually encourage right across the spectrum people to want to come forward into leadership roles. So mentoring, encouragement, giving people opportunity is going to be a big focus.
Well, I don't make that decision, the Premier does, but I have loved my time as Police Minister. It is such an honour to be the Police Minister, but the social good that you can do, and this man's been doing it all his working life, is extraordinary. I don't want to move from my role whatsoever. I love it, and I am excited about it, I am passionate about it, because it is such an important position, and the police force are so important to New South Wales.
Back on strip searching, do you think Ray Meredith deserves an apology for the New South Wales Government?
Yes, I apologise. What happened to Miss Meredith, the police have already acknowledged, was unlawful. It should not have happened to her. But as has been said, New South Wales Police have changed their SOPs in relation to strip searching, and I think that's obviously for the better.
Have you spoken to her? Have you apologised to her directly?
No, I haven't spoken to her.
So I think this is the first apology from the government. Do you have any estimates on how much the entire force is going to cost the government?
Well, we're uncertain on how many cases will come forward, so it's difficult to put a number on that. That is something that over time we'd be able to have more of an idea. So at this point in time, no, I wouldn't be able to give you a figure.
Are you working towards a settlement, or are you hoping to go through the judgment?
Well, these matters are still before the court. Like, we've only seen the judgment just yesterday afternoon. We'll work through that, and we'll obviously proceed accordingly.
Thank you, ladies and gents. Much appreciated. Thank you.